Good morning, Birmingham. 8:06 our time. You are here just in time about today's weather, meaning potentially half-dollar sized hail. You'll have to forgive me. I haven't used change in quite some time. Coins. That's pretty good sized, isn't it? Bigger than a quarter, right?
Yeah.
That's bigger than a quarter.
Yes.
I'm a little concerned about that. That worries me.
That size of a silver dollar right there.
That's a
And
silver
just
dollar.
a little bit smaller than that.
Okay, so
Not
half
much.
half dollar is going to be a little smaller. Okay. Woo! Man, that's the kind of stuff that if it really comes from a high height, it'll do some serious damage to your car. Serious damage to your car. I don't know that I want to live that way. So hopefully I'll be in the garage by the time it kicks in. Same for you, because just dang. 76 for a high today. Yes, there should be some severe thunderstorms, but we're not talking about pop-up tornadoes or spin-off tornadoes or anything like that. They do have to mention it every time now because, a couple of weeks ago, one slipped under the radar. And so now they say, well, there's a possibility. Of course, there's always a possibility. 80 for a high tomorrow with cloudy skies. 80 again for a high on Wednesday with cloudy skies. And a 90% chance of rain now suddenly pops up in the forecast on Wednesday. I heard earlier it's like, no rain until, after the weekend. Nope. Looks like we could feasibly be looking at more rain on Wednesday. And everybody I talk to says the same thing. Well, we need it. I don't need it. I'm fine. Thank you very much. My yard is blooming and growing, and my dogwood's in bloom in the backyard. It looks good. Pretty soon we're going to have the crepe myrtles blooming in the front yard. It's going to be lovely. I'm just upset the tulips didn't come up this year. They'd had enough, I guess. They'd reached their limit. Came up 3-4 times in a row, and then it was just like, nope, we quit. We're not doing it anymore.
Oh, that's sad.
Or maybe they're waiting. I don't know. Maybe they're on strike. I have no idea.
Maybe they got the forecast that it's supposed to freeze next weekend
Is it supposed to freeze next weekend?
or sometime next week for
Really?
a day or two.
It seems like they always manage to squeeze one in somewhere, just this side of Easter.
Or
They
maybe
manage to-
not freeze, but
Yeah.
like your tropical plants got to come in
Yeah.
type thing.
Cold.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
cold.
Okay. We'll get there. 8:08 with Dixon and Vining. She's Catherine Kyatt in for the vacationing Valerie Vining. Mr. Bugs knows that when the weather gets cold or wet, the bugs want to come inside. It's just the way it is. And it is your job to call Mr. Bugs, and it is their job to stop that from happening. They can lay down a barrier that even withstands the toughest rainstorm. They can kill the bugs that are on the inside and make sure that they're not breeding and carrying on. They do the same thing, by the way, with small rodents. They'll take care of them. Last time they came by, they said, good news, no rodent activity in your home at all. I said, yes, well, my daughter moved out. Just kidding. Seriously, they have taken care of a small rodent problem for me that was really almost out of hand a few years ago, and they managed to get it under control and got me back down to ground zero, which is where I need to be. Termite bonding as well, and mosquito reduction, man. I guess as soon as these rainstorms get through here, I'm hoping that they'll stop by and Mr. Mosquito Sprayer will come do his thing because, man, oh, man, do I love that mosquito reduction. I'm not sure I can live without it. I recommended it to a friend who lives farther out in the country than I do, and she now can't live without it either. She was like, well, do you think that would make a difference? I said, try it. If it doesn't work, I apologize, but it worked great for me. Now she's texting me, when are they going to start? When are they coming? We need to, do I look like Mr. Bugs to you? No. Call them. Call them. Mr. Bugs. 9416252, 9416252, online at mrbuggs.com.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, we have a new leader in Iran, ladies and gentlemen. We have to know that so we know who gets killed next. It's important that we have that piece of information. Mojtaba Khamenei, that would be the son of the previous Khamenei, who was killed in really the initial strike. I heard ABC News earlier today say the U.S. killed him. No, it was Israel. Israel 100% responsible for that, although we did give them a little bit of the intelligence. We kind of went like, hey, we can tell you where this guy is going to be at 8:30 on Saturday morning. You want to go get him? And, oh, yeah, sure, why not?
Try the 800 block of Ayatollah Avenue.
They took him out. But there are folks who are upset about this because they say, well, this is like a hereditary monarchy, and we don't really need that. I mean, why in the world are they selecting this guy? He wasn't even part of the original 40 people who got killed. If he had been, he'd be dead right now, of course, obviously. But, they had all the important people together in one place in that room, and he wasn't one of them. I don't know if he's number 41 or what the deal is, but,
Did you see Babylon Bee had the thing that was like, they're all wondering, like, why this couldn't have been a Zoom call?
yeah. I'm just trying to picture what that meeting was like. Do you hear a whistling sound? Lindsey Graham is urging Israel to be cautious in attacks on Iran and says America is most appreciative. Lindsey Graham is funny to me because he's one of these hawks. He's a little bit like John McCain. He never saw a war he didn't want to get involved in or commit America's young men and women to. And then he comes out and goes, oh, by the way, careful out there. Oh, thanks, Lindsey. We didn't know. We thought war was going to be fun. Now you're telling us it's dangerous? Gosh, good thing you're here. Man never served a day in the military, and he's going to tell us how this works? I don't think so. Crude oil prices have exceeded $100 a barrel as the war in Iran continues to disrupt production and shipping. And yes, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is taking a pounding. Can I make a suggestion to you, my friends? Buy the dip. Buy the dip, because when this is over, and I do believe it's going to be in a couple of weeks, I really do. When this is over, that stock market is going to come roaring back in a way that you will not believe. And I say that because we'll have gotten rid of one of the biggest problems in that hemisphere. I mean, obviously, China's going to be a problem always. Russia's going to be a problem always. But Iran was that sort of unpredictable bugaboo that needed to be handled, needed to be taken care of. North Korea is under control right now. Iran is the one that has just been the biggest thorn in not just our side, but in our allies' sides over there, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, of course, Jordan. Everybody hates Iran. All of them are scared of them. And by the way, as soon as we began bombing them, they then immediately started bombing all of their surrounding countries. You're like, well, you just don't want any friends, do you? What is going on here? Well, China's a friend. Russia's helping us. Good. Russia's tied up. They're a little busy. They got their own little war that they're fighting over there. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, yeah, get used to it. $100 a barrel. I remember under George W. Bush and then drifting into Obama, oil reached $147 a barrel. That was some time ago. We can withstand this, and then it's going to turn around and come plummeting back down again because we're going to have more than we know what to do with, and we're not going to have a stupid, ugly Islamic fundamentalist regime holding it hostage or threatening to hold it hostage. So that's good news. Plus, of course, we got oil out of Venezuela, which was a pretty good trade. Pretty good trade. Jesse Jackson Jr. relatively upset with Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and Joe Biden for not really knowing his father during the memorial service. They all got up and spoke, and Jesse Jackson Jr. says not one of them qualified as my friend. Donald Trump, who really was a friend of Jesse Jackson's, which is not hard to believe for me, right? Because they're both these larger-than-life bombastic figures, right? That just struck me as such a natural fit. When I heard that, I was like, well, of course they were.
Yeah.
Of course they were good friends. I mean, for a long time, Donald Trump was on the left side of the aisle. He was a Democrat. And also, Jesse Jackson made sure that Trump got an NAACP award, for taking HBCUs, all this stuff. And Trump basically gave Rainbow Push Coalition an office in Trump Tower. Like it was nominal rent or something because he wanted them there. He wanted to be seen as a guy who was philanthropic and helpful. And so he and Jesse spoke quite frequently. The one guy who wasn't invited to the funeral.
I felt like in my mind's eye, pre-Trump presidency, there were a lot of photo ops with the two of them together.
Yeah.
Like like they were friends.
You could
like openly
definitely
friends.
see them hanging out together. I could see them, not drinking a beer because Trump doesn't drink, but I could definitely see them. They'd be drinking red drink. They would be drinking some red drink, and they would be enjoying some Tahitian treat or something like that. Jesse Jackson would be like, everybody knows I am the greatest. And Trump would be like, now, hold on a second there, Jesse. I'm a little greater. I think everybody knows I'm a little greater than you. Do we need to have this argument right now? Let's see. So he doesn't, the guy who knows him better. And by the way, in his Truth Social post about the death of Jesse Jackson, which of course ended up being about Trump, it always is, he manages to fit in that Jesse Jackson worked tirelessly behind the scenes to get Barack Obama elected, a man whom he hated or he couldn't stand. And I thought, That sounds right, too.
Yeah.
That sounds right to me, too. I could see Jesse Jackson looking at Obama and going, brother, what are you doing? What is this all about? Last but not least, we have the story about 8 people injured in Selma shooting during the bridge crossing Jubilee weekend. It was 2 different shootings, actually. 1:25 a.m. Saturday on the 1200 block of Alabama Avenue, which was right near where the bridge crossing Jubilee was going to take place. Fight broke out between a group of people and shots were fired. Then at 5:30 on Saturday during the Jubilee Festival, 2 more people were shot after a fight broke out near the vendor and performer area. Guys, we're there to celebrate the civil rights era and all that was accomplished by Martin Luther King Jr. through peaceful demonstration. You brought guns?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
What?
Does not make sense.
No. Are you going to be defending any of these people, you think? Or?
I mean, if they pay.
Does the check clear?
I mean,
Geez, you're not that mercenary. Denson and Fuller, my insurance agents, should be yours as well. These guys are local, they're independent, and they insure everything I have. I was going to say my boat. I used to have a boat. I don't have one anymore. Also had a motorcycle. They insured that. They insure my house. They insure my small business. They insure my car, my truck, and they do a great job because when I have a claim, they're working for me, not for some big insurance company. It's really nice to have them on my side. 414-1476, 414-1476. That is Denson and Fuller Insurance, densonandfuller.com on the World Wide Web. 8:23. Dixon of Vining, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. Catherine Kite in for the vacationing Valerie Vining. She will be back on Wednesday, 1 year older and deeper in debt. I don't know if she can be deeper in debt. I hope not too. Yeah, we try to keep it between the lines. That's one of those lessons you learn as you go along here. You don't buy it unless you absolutely positively need it, and even then sometimes you go, I can put that off. I still have not replaced my porch fridge, which went bust on me last summer, I want to say. And I opened it the other day just to see what it looked like in there. Ew.
Well,
Yeah.
did you just you didn't keep food out there, did
Oh, good
you?
Lord, no.
Okay.
No,
Closed it right back up, and
Yeah.
Ugh.
Once
left there.
it went bad, I took it all out of there and put what little I could fit into my inside fridge, and then I have an upstairs fridge, which is a tiny little, it's a home theater fridge to keep, your beer cold or whatever. And then I made arrangements now to have this fridge removed. Was going to cut the cord off and have it brought to a local playground because I understand the kids love playing in old refrigerators. And apparently that deal fell through. I don't know. It was still sitting out on my porch. A little upset about that.
Yeah.
I think they got a dumpster instead. I think they got an old rusty dumpster at that playground. That's probably why they didn't want the fridge any longer. A little upsetting. You don't listen to this show very often, do you?
No, I know you.
You do.
Sometimes I just have nothing.
Yes,
know?
I understand. Did you hear about this, I don't know what you'd call it, a terror attack, I guess, on Gracie Mansion in New York City over the weekend?
They were just
Yeah, I was
having
hearing
a
about it,
Yeah. Pair of ISIS-trained extremists charged with hurling an IED at Gracie Mansion. It was really, they were trying to throw it at conservative protesters who were upset. They upset these two guys because they thought that they were denouncing their religion. Yeah, they were. That's what they were there for. I know that they weren't throwing it at Gracie Mansion because Zoran Mamdani is a Muslim, and you'd think they'd want to, be on his side, right? Although it's weird because it's the tiniest factions.
Yeah. I was about to say, just when I think I could understand why they would think a certain way,
Mhm.
or I think that they should think a certain way. Obviously, I don't think the way they do,
No.
so there's no telling.
No, it's weird to me. I mean, they're constantly, there's infighting of all kinds because of the minor belief. Emo Phillips used to have a bit about that in the Christian church as well, when he was walking down along a bridge and there was a guy who was about to jump and he said, "Don't jump. Don't jump. Think about your wife." He said, "I don't have a wife. I've been divorced for years and she doesn't want anything to do with it." "Think about your kids." "We never had any kids." "Well, think about Jesus." He says, "Okay, I can do that. You're probably right. I should think about Jesus. You're a Christian, aren't you?" "Yeah." What denomination?" He said, "I'm a Presbyterian." "Presbyterian, that's good. You Presbyterian Reformation from 1658 or Presbyterian Reformation from 1722? He said 1658. I said, "Die, heathen scum." That's sort of the Muslims. They're so close. They agree on 98%, but that 2% is enough. Well, now you have to die. I'm sorry. You disagree with me on this 2%. But in this particular case, they were actually hurling these IEDs at conservatives who they thought were dissing their religion. 19-year-old Ibrahim Kayumi and 18-year-old Amir Balat, two American names if ever I heard them, both self-radicalized in recent years and traveled to Turkey and other terror training hotspots, according to law enforcement sources. I've always wondered about this, by the way. You love to travel. You've been all kinds of places. Balat spent more than 3 months in Istanbul last year, while Ibrahim flew to Istanbul and Saudi Arabia in 2024 and made a trip to Melbourne, Australia in 2019. Where are these kids getting this money?
I know.
I want some answers.
Somebody's bankrolling.
Yeah.
I want to go to these places as well. I mean, not Saudi Arabia, but I would love to go to Melbourne, Australia.
It's great.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of time or money.
I had points.
Well, that's good.
Lots of points.
Anytime you can get the points,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
But
I'm
18 and
with
19.
Steve. I'm thinking that the old kids got bankrolled by whoever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Somebody who was helping radicalize them. Pair admitted to cops after getting busted at the violent demonstration outside the mayor's residence on Saturday afternoon that they also watched ISIS videos. Are those music videos? What kind of videos are they making over there? Do we know? And
Well, if it's music, it's radicalized music.
probably. They tossed the bomb at right-wing agitators because they felt the agitators insulted their religion. They were saying bad things about us. The homemade device consisted of sports drink bottles filled with triacetone triperoxide, or TATP, a substance favored by terrorists, also known as Mother of Satan, which is so volatile that it typically doesn't require a fuse to go off.
Jeez,
Nice.
Great. Dangerous substance can be cobbled together using household ingredients readily available at the home improvement stores and pharmacies. Here, let me give you the recipe real quick. No, I'm not.
I'm sure it's readily available if you were to look.
Yeah, I'm not.
How do
I'm
you
not-
transport it without blowing yourself
That's
up?
a fair question. That is a fair question.
And
Maybe
it's
you
a shame they didn't.
yeah.
Yeah,
You might just mix those ingredients at the 11th hour right before you toss the thing, right?
I guess. Yeah.
Anyway, they apparently got, and there was nails and screws and things in there as well, so that when it went off, it would do like the maximum amount of damage blowing that stuff out, and which is truly, you're a sick and evil person if you're doing that. No question about it. Nonetheless, these guys have been caught, and they are no doubt going to be spending the rest of their lives in a structured environment because unless Mom Donnie is like, no, they're fine, let them go. You don't have any problem with people throwing ice balls at police officers, so maybe throwing, explosive devices at right-wing protesters, he could be fine with it. Just, come on, guys, don't. Kids will be kids. That's all I'm saying. They might
There's
have killed
toilet paper, and then there's
Yeah.
TATP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's funny,
two
I don't
different
remember
things.
as a kid ever throwing the equivalent of a Molotov cocktail at
No.
anyone.
This is where we differ, Steve. This is where we differ. 8:30, Dixon and Vining talk.
Can't wait to hear that story.
The statute of limitations has not run out on that one yet, so we're going to keep it on the down low for another couple of years.
Okay, you do that.
Stick around. Talk 99.5. The Occasions. I happened to see this group at Montgomery City Fest years and years and years ago. Not a single original member. Everybody in that group was well under 30 years old. It was like, what are we even doing here? I mean, it's just
Not the same.
Yeah.
By any.
Come on. 836, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Speaking of original groups and original members, the original Guess Who, that is to say Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman, are going to be touring, and they are coming nowhere near us. Nowhere. I'm trying to figure out, where would be the closest place I could? No. Nope. They're going to have to add some dates if they're going to get anywhere near the Southeast. Maybe they've decided they don't want to. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to see I've seen the knockoff Guess Who a couple of times. The most recent one I saw, again, not an original member in it. That was a couple of years ago at OPEC, and they played all the right songs. They were great. I mean, they sounded good. The keyboard player had been with them for like 20 years, but he wasn't the original keyboard player. Burton Cummings was the original keyboard player. So it's like, I'm watching a Guess Who cover band, you know? I want to see the real deal. We'll see if that ever happens. Steve, do you hear that Steve Perry is actually talking about getting back together with Journey for like this one last tour or something?
I keep hearing all those rumors, and then I keep seeing where Steve Perry goes, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I don't care who's telling me, saying it.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. It didn't sound right to me because he has managed to thwart all of those. Plus, when you got mailbox money from writing Don't Stop Believing, you don't really need to tour. You're
Yeah.
okay.
Well, and, he's done several solo things. He's getting money from that. He's fine. He can
Yeah.
do whatever the heck he wants now.
He's going to make it. I feel good about the boy. I think he might pull this off. 8:37 with Dixon Dividing. By the way, it is the 57th birthday of Barbie. Barbie the doll.
She looks pretty good for her age.
Yeah.
Well, here's the important thing. That makes her 6 years younger than Valerie. I did not know that.
Dang.
Damn.
No, that can't possibly be right. No. That doesn't make any sense. She's got to be 67, maybe? Does that make sense? It's March 9th of 1959. Yeah, it's got to be.
That's about right.
Yeah, she's got to be 67.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then she's older than Valerie, but not by much.
Dang, Richard.
I keep picking on Valerie because she's 6 months older than me.
Valerie, you're beautiful, and don't listen to Richard.
She's not listening. She's got a day off. Why would she tune in?
Well, she might.
No,
No.
that's too much like work.
No.
She's not doing that.
If you're off, are you tuning in?
No,
See?
never. It's too depressing.
Yeah.
I hear my show without me, and I'm like, oh, they suck. Kidding. It's a joke. Stop it. Calm down, everybody. People are still texting us with lines from movies, one-word lines. Young Frankenstein, Blucher.
Well, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
That is a good one.
Patrick says, back on Tetris. Have you seen the game Skanoodle? Had Tetris-shaped pieces in a box with a timer. You shake the first piece around, then have 1 minute to complete the puzzle, not moving the first piece, but placing the remaining pieces to complete the solid rectangle. I have not, but it sounds like a barrel of monkey fun. The Shining, Red Drum. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one there.
Groovy Army of Darkest, we got that. Maria says, I was raised in Michigan. I remember green skies. Those green skies are freaky as all get out. Oklahoma hail is gigantic, says Richard the Cop. I know. I experienced it. I lived there for a while myself. That stuff is frightening. Because it is such a flat area, you could see storms rambling through from miles away, miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. You'd be like, you see that line of clouds? That's going to be here in about a day and a half. That's how long it's going to take. It's finally going to show up, and then it's going to dump this hail on you. And it is, unfortunately, never had any damage, but I had friends in the automotive industry that they had to get a check for virtually every car on the lot one day, one summer, because they were all damaged by this massive hail. And I mean damaged to the point where the car was unsellable. It was so bad. And I was like, oh, I'm glad I wasn't in your section of town. I mean, my car was out, but I didn't get anything near like that. Good news. Did Bachman and Cummings able to get the Guess Who name back? Yes. Yes, Dave. And here's how they did it. They stopped allowing anybody to play their music through ASCAP BMI. They just took that off the table and they said, not going to put this in ASCAP BMI, not going to make it available for anybody to play ever. And the cover band basically dried up. They had no songs to play. They were going to go out as the Guess Who and play what?
Yeah.
So they ended up having to dissipate. And once they did, they approached Peterson, Jim Peterson, I want to say, who was the bass player, who had the rights to it. If you don't know, this was a horrible situation. The Guess Who kind of broke up, but they would get back together again every now and then. And I mean, all the original members would get back together every now and then and do a concert or a series of shows or something like that. And then they'd go their separate ways again. Well, Jim Peterson got into some serious trouble with the Canadian tax, their version of the IRS. And he contacted Cummings and Bachman and said, listen, man, I'm in serious trouble. I know you guys can't go, but if you'll just let me use the name The Guess Who, I'll put a band together. We'll go out. We'll play the hits. I'll play a bunch of concerts. I'll get the money. I'll be able to pay off. And they're like, of course, Jim, we love you, man. We anything for you. You're a band member. We've been together forever. Sure. So they sign over the rights to the name, fully expecting that when he's done with this little thing, he'll sign the name back over to him. Well, he finishes his thing. He pays off the Canadian IRS, never gives them the name back, refuses to give them the name back. What a jerk.
Yeah.
So now they approach him and they go, here's the thing. You're done. You're never playing another Guess Who song. Your band is never playing another Guess Who song. That little group you've got touring as the Guess Who, never playing another Guess Who song, because these will stay off the table forever. Randy and I have enough money. We don't need to sit here and make mailbox money off these songs anymore. So you can either take this buyout offer or you can languish and die with nothing. And he said, how much was the offer again? Can I take another look at that? So they paid him and they got the name back. And now they're going to go out on a very brief tour. But fortunately, it will keep that group of shamsters off the road. Were you here? I think you were here when my friend Slam Obama came by. Ever? No? That might have been April Marie, I'm thinking of.
Like in the studio?
Yeah, they were in the studio.
I don't.
They were playing in town, and they dropped by and told me the story about they were opening for the Guess Who at some fair in Iowa or Minnesota or something like that. And there was a hospitality tent, and they were in there eating, and somebody came along and said, hey, listen, you guys have got to go. The Guess Who are coming in. I said, well, have them come in. We want to see them. We want to hang out with them. No. They don't want to eat with anybody else. They specifically said they don't want you in here. What a bunch of jerks. This is the knockoff
the cover band.
This was the fake band. You're like, you do not have the cachet to be that big a jerk, you know?
Yeah.
If you were the actual Guess Who and you wanted to behave like that, maybe. But I've interviewed Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings, and both of them are the nicest people you could ever hope to meet. They're just wonderful human beings. I wish they would come closer. Bastards. I mean, nice people. Nice guys, really. Let's see. Old Barbie looks great. It's all in that plastic surgery. It could be. Remember when they used to be, you might not remember this because you're so young, you're a child. But there was a time when women were all upset about Barbie's unrealistic figure. And so they wanted a more...
I don't remember that.
Oh, well, I mean, it was quite a while back. But then they said, we want more of a realistic Barbie. We want a Barbie that's more like a human being shaped. Yeah. And they started constructing them. They sold about 4.
Yeah.
And then they went back to, okay, unrealistic Barbie is where we're going with this thing. Did y'all hear about Sebastian Bach taking the mic for Twisted Sister? Yes. Dee Snider announced his retirement. Interestingly, Skid Row is having open auditions for a new lead singer. I'm thinking, what are we doing here? I would agree, Sean. That is awfully weird.
Yeah, but Skid Row hasn't had Sebastian Bach fronting them since after album number 2.
That is true.
They've got a long time rift going there.
Sebastian Bach is the right guy to take over for Twisted Sister. Dee Snider said so himself. He said there's only 2 people that could do this. One is my son, and the other one is Sebastian Bach. And they chose Sebastian, and good for them. He said, I'm 71 years old. I don't need to go out and prove I can still do this. I'm done. I've got money, and I'm good, and I'm just going to enjoy retirement. That means in about 5 years he's going to come back and do a gig with them because it
Reunion tour.
Yeah, always happens that way. But if Sebastian Bach's a pretty good replacement for Dee Snider if that's what you need.
Oh, Sebastian Bach.
Did you guys do That's a Fact, Jack from Stripes? No, because it's one word, West. One word. You people have trouble following the rules, don't you? What's the deal with you? In the words of Joe Biden, I'm much smarter than most of you. Just kidding. Joe Biden is not much smarter than most of you. I can tell you that right now. You're the best-looking, most intelligent listeners in the free world. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's why you know that when you start to struggle and suffer, and you are sleepy, and you are dozing, and when you get done eating dinner, the first thing you want to do is turn on the news, lie down, go to sleep. You got low T, my friend. Most likely you've got low testosterone. You need to go to the Alabama Men's Clinic and get that straightened out. The Alabama Men's Clinic, 5987000. Fantastic folks who are going to take such good care of you. They treat the whole person. They treat you like a human being. They don't treat you like a number or a thing like some doctors do. No, they're going to talk to you about your life and what you're feeling and how you're doing and how are things in the bedroom? Can we do something with that? What do you need? How can we help you? They take the testosterone test, and you'll know it by the time you leave the office, which is virtually unheard of. It's real-life urology-backed science, powered by Men's Pro. Great folks who are going to talk to you about how to get your testosterone level back up where it needs to be, how you can fix that ED problem you've been having, how you can fix the hair loss and weight loss you've been struggling with. This is what they do. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com, AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. This is the answer. 5987000. You can make an appointment in 30 seconds or less on their website, or you can call them up. They are discreet, they are kind, and you're going to feel a whole lot better. Take it from me. 846, Dixon and Vining, back in a moment. You know how much I love surfing YouTube just for fun, just to see what's out there. I ran across one of the last times this duo did this song live. It was at an Olivia Newton-John concert, and she dragged John Travolta out on stage. And, he had serious trouble hitting the notes, man. Those are high notes. Yeah, he's not that young man any longer. Bless
Who
his
is?
heart. Yeah, exactly. I tried to sing them myself. I was kind of like, could I hit them? Oh, hell no. I probably couldn't hit them back then either, but
It's not one of the reasons why Steve Perry's probably not going back out with Journey.
that could be it, yes. If you're not going to scale everything downward. 852 Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Citizen Kane, Rosebud. Yeah. Never could figure that out. Like, who the hell heard him say that line? The cameraman, I guess. You know. You watch the movie, no one's in the room with him. How is this possible? I need answers. Daniel says, how about Mary Poppins, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
Oh.
Another good one.
And to be fair, he spelled it correctly. I got to give him props for that. Very good. Mm-hmm. Sean says, you just reminded me of the Van Halen situation, the first Kiss reunion. Just tour together and make money. You don't have to hang out together the whole time. Each could have had their own bus with the kind of money they pull on these big shows. The first Kiss tour, when they got back together again, it was in the 90s, right? It was the original lineup, and they were going to put the makeup on. Ace and Peter got screwed so badly on that tour because neither one of them was really doing much of anything. Ace was touring with his own band, but he wasn't doing terribly well. And Paul and Gene said, here's the deal. We do this tour, you each get $1 million. And they were like, $1 million? That sounds great. They found out later, of course, that Paul and Gene each made like $28 million on that tour. But these guys had forgotten what it was like, and especially when you got in the era after the Eagles reunion, when tickets went sky high. Do you remember what ticket prices were before the Eagles got back together?
Absolutely, I do.
Yeah. I mean, 25 was reasonable. 50 was like, oh, who do they think they are?
Yeah, exactly.
Eagles get back together, $225. And people are lining up and throwing money at the ticket booth up behind Sears. Remember, you had to go to Sears and stand in line to buy tickets for a concert back then?
I do.
I remember my sister buying some Bob Dylan tickets for me over the phone because I didn't have a credit card. It was 1984. He was touring with Tom Petty. I said, please, I need you to get these tickets. They were $60 a piece, and it was 1985, I believe, 1985. But you got both Tom Petty and Bob Dylan, and the show was in Dallas. So she got me 4 of them, which was nice. And they were mailed to her, and then she mailed them to me. And the show was, to this day, still one of the best concerts I've ever seen. I mean, they started off, it was Tom Petty and Bob Dylan playing together. The whole group was there, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and Bob Dylan. And then Dylan wandered off the stage, and Tom and the Heartbreakers played. And then the Heartbreakers left the stage, and Tom played a solo song, and then Bob came out, and they did a little duet, and then Tom left, and Bob stayed. And then the Heartbreakers came back, and they backed up Bob Dylan. This went on for 4 hours.
Nice.
4 hours. I was like, I got my money's worth out of this one.
Yeah, you did.
What year was that?
1985.
Hey, Valerie, this is for you. I was 4.
Shush your face.
No, nobody likes you, Catherine. Nobody likes you.
First tickets I ever spent my own money on to buy a concert for is Police, BJCC Arena,
Yeah.
Ooh.
the Synchronicity Tour.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
$12.50 per.
$12.50. When I bought tickets to see Boston on their Don't Look Back tour and it was $12.50, we were outraged. We were like, $12.50? What happened to $10? But it was explained to me by, who's the lead singer of Def Leppard?
Joe Elliott.
Joe Elliott, yeah. He said back in the day, we used to tour to support an album, and we would make a ton of money on the album. We would sell albums, and just be a huge amount of money. So the tour was okay. We didn't have to make a lot of money on the tour. We were making all the money off the album sales. He says it's gone completely opposite now. Yeah. The albums are almost free. You know, people are downloading them online, and they cost next to nothing. Album prices really haven't changed if you're talking about downloading. So we make all of our money on the tour. The supporting tour is where we're getting our cash. That's why you're paying so much for these things. I was like, you're not getting it out of me, Joe. I've never seen you live, and I'm not going to start now.
I've seen Def Leppard a couple of times.
I know you're a fan of that kind of 80s hair band.
But I didn't specifically go for them. The one time they came to town, went to Oak Mountain Amphitheater. Remember that? They doubled up with Journey.
Yeah.
And another time they were on a triple bill with, I can't remember. It was
Styx, I think.
Yeah, maybe so. And there was one other group.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think my daughter and my ex-wife went to that tour. Yeah. I was just like, Def Leppard, no, I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going. I was going there for the other act mainly. I was just like, okay, yeah, I can watch Def Leppard too. I don't mind the music, but it wasn't why I went.
Yeah, man. Okay, boy, I got a lot of these. I saw Led Zeppelin in MSG, Madison Square Garden, for $8.50 in 1977. Bill,
That'll do it.
you are old. Standing in line in the back of Parisians waiting to buy tickets. Yeah,
Speaking about remember them.
Parisians.
everybody had this experience.
Sure.
Mike here, I paid $13 for my ticket to see Ozzy in '83.
Oh, he thought he was 50 cents more important than the police.
Apparently. I camped at the Galleria for Grateful Dead tickets. Oh, those were the days. Adrian from Rocky. We already got that one, Cherry. Thank you. Appreciate it, though. I waited for Kiss Show 4 in line. Wallet got stolen. I got 14th row center stage. I saw Def Leppard with Journey.
How with the stolen wallet did you get fourth row in?
That's a good question. Someone stole your wallet and you still got the tickets. My first concert tickets were Motley Crue in '89. It was $22.50 each ticket, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, I could believe that. That'd have been the Dr. Feelgood tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Those were the days, man. I'm trying to think about what was the most expensive. I saw the Black and Blue tour, right? Black Sabbath and Blue Oyster Cult, but I was working the venue at the time, so I didn't have to pay anything for that. I had no idea how much those tickets cost. I got to see a lot of concerts while I worked that venue, man. It was good. You got to see Earth, Wind, and Fire. I got to see Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. I saw Foghat. I saw Pat Travers, Fleetwood Mac, Bob Seger, just a ton of really great acts. And then as hockey season was about to start, and they said, you need to buy a blazer. I'm like, I got another job. I'm gone. Thanks. I'm
Appreciate it.
not wearing a blazer.
Yeah.
Not going to show up in a blazer and seat people for a Minnesota North Stars game. Remember the North Stars? Those were the days. Brother came and gave me more money. That's how Tom got his 14th row seats. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Saw the Stones at Legion Field, but that was also a radio promotion that we were involved in, so I didn't have to pay nothing for that. It was in the 64th row on the ground floor.
Great tickets.
Not bad.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, really. I mean, I could make out facial features, which was good. But
That is actually quite good.
yeah, no,
64th row. Wow.
64th row. Of course, they had the giant screens as well. But yeah, there were people who my seats for U2 were nowhere near as good. All you needed to know is that when it was 7 o'clock on stage, it was 8 o'clock in our seats. That was the problem with the U2 show. 9 o'clock, Dixon inviting. I don't even go now. If I can't have good seats, if I can't get decent tickets, I just don't bother. I'm just like, nope, I'm too old for that. That's not happening anymore.